doing the first one. The next line, what am I going to do to make sure that balances? I need to add 3 to both sides, which leaves me with just 3x on the left hand side. 4 plus 3 is 7. Now what do? Divide both sides by 3. I divide by 3 because that's 3 lots of x. And if I divide by 3 using a fraction symbol, then that is my answer. I could just leave it as that. Unless the context says, give me the nearest whole number, or it's talking about dollars and cents or something along those lines, then you can just leave it like that. Okay? Next one. What do I do there? Times everything by 2. Times everything by 2. So that gives me 14 on that side. But because this whole thing here is divided by 2, when I times by 2, it just sort of cancels out, get rid of that fraction. From there, it's just like the other side. So that's 4x is 15. Divide both sides by 4, and you get 15 over 4. Any issues with that? Okay, that answers no. This is what I want to get onto today for most of you guys. I want to get onto questions like C. How are we going to answer a question like C? We've got x's on both sides of our equal sign. How are we going to do that?
Minus 1x.
Yeah. Just like here, what we did is we moved all the numbers to one side and we just left the x on the other. It's the same thing. We're going to move all the x's to one side and all the numbers to the other. So how are you going to move that positive x to the other side? Minus an x on both sides. How are you going to get rid of that negative 3? Plus 3 plus 3. That's going to be 3x equals 7. Same as I there, isn't it? Divide both sides by 3, and you get x equals 7 over 3. Any issues with that? Okay, so that's where I want you guys to practice those ones there today. The reason why I want you to practice those ones today is because the next step is to solve these simultaneously. Now, simultaneous equations can get a little bit tricky, but all that there is a straight line. All that one there is a straight line. All we are finding when we're solving simultaneously is where those two lines intersect. Okay? So to solve where two lines intersect, you're just going to do some simultaneous equations. And all you're doing there is that x value for this graph is exactly the same as the x value for that graph, isn't it? And just like the y value for this graph is the same as the y value for that graph. So by doing that, what we're saying is that y is the same as that y. So in other words, eventually we're going to have to solve that equation there. Okay, we'll get to there eventually. Does anyone notice anything about that equation just there? It's exactly the same as that one up there, right? It is that one up there. Okay. So what I would do by solving this, I do exactly the same as up here. So I get an answer of x equals 7 over 3. But is that my answer? Why not? Yeah, because this is my x at the moment. I need to find my y answer too as well. How do I find y? Well, y is just x plus 4. Now this is where you might need to change 7/3 to 2 1/3. 2 1/3 plus 4 is just 6 1/3, isn't it? Okay, so there's my answer. 7 and a third and 6 and a third. And if I wanted to be real good, what I might write is 2 and a third, 6 and a third. Okay? The 4 comes from this equation just here. Okay. And so what that's telling me is this coordinate, 2 and a third, 6 and a third, that where those two lines intersect is at that particular point there, okay? And that's what you guys are going to get onto hopefully relatively soon. Next week. Next week I might try and deliver this. Because you're going to need that to get a merit / excellence in this upcoming test. Okay, you need to go do it algebraically.